I'm going to be reading in the book of Matthew and looking at the grammar along with a brief exposition as well. I'm sort of surprised that YouTube finally went through. Uh, I was looking at the wise, at the Magi, and how they came, and Herod sent the Magi out to search for the Lord and to let him know when they would find him. And so I am going to continue picking up. You have the, first of all, now Herod's violence toward the children to try to destroy Christ. It reads in verse 7, Tata Herodes latra thalesas tus magus eklibbosin par auton tan chronon tu phenomenou asteras. Then Herod privately, when he called the Magi, inquired from them the time of the appearing of the star. Typemsos autus eis Bethlehem apen. And when he sent them into Bethlehem, he said, Paruthentes exetasita akribos peritu paidiu, upon the urete, upon gelate moi, hapos hago, elthon proskuneso. And when he sent them into Bethlehem, he said, Go and search diligently for the child. And when you find him, tell me that I might come and might worship him. Hoide accusantes tu basileos aparuthesan kai eduha aster con edan ente anatale praedan autus theos elthon estate apano hu ein ta paidion. That is, and uh, the the ones who heard the king went, and behold the star, which they saw in the east, went before them until when it came, it stood over where the child was. I think what we're looking at here is probably the Shekinah, the glory of God, that would appear and reappear, and it will stand over the place where Christ was. I don't think it's an ordinary star. It seems to me, at least in my own mind, to refer to the glory of God, the Shekinah of God. And it appeared to Abraham, and now, again, doing the same thing. Hidantes detanastera akaresen karan magale vadra. And it reads, and when they saw the star, they became exceedingly glad with great joy. In other words, they're rejoicing to see the star. Teothantes eis tenoikian edan ta paidian meta Marias tu metras autu. Tai pesantes prosecune san auto. Anoixantes tus thesaurus auton, prosenecem auto dora crusan kai Libanon kai Smurnan. That is, and when they came into the house, they saw the child with Mary, his mother, and when they fell down, they worshipped him. And opening their treasures, they brought to him gifts, gold, and frankincense and myrrh. Tai crematistentes cat aner me anacampsa pras Herode di ales adu anacoresan es pain coran auto. And being warned in a dream that not to return to Herod, through another way they departed unto their country. It's interesting here that they are warned by the Lord to return a different way because of Herod and his desire to destroy the Lord, to destroy Christ. Herod was a very evil man that did not want anyone to threaten his rulership or to even where he would feel like someone might be taking his authority. So the Magi are warned and they depart in another way. So anakoresanton de auton. When they departed, edu angelas curio vanatai kat anerto Yosef legon. Agerthes parelave ta paidion pai tein metera autu pai fuge es aiguptas pai isti akeos on apo soil. And when they departed, behold, the angel of the Lord appears in a dream to Joseph, saying, Arise, take the child and his mother, and flee into Egypt, and be there until I tell you, for Herod is about to seek the child to destroy it. Hada agerstes pareleven ta paidion kai tain matera autu nuktas kai sin es iguptan. And he, arising, took the child and his mother by night, and departed unto Egypt. Pain ake haos tes telutes herodu hina plerothe ta hrithan, hupo curio dia tu profetu legantas. Ex aguptu ekalesa tan huian mu. Notice, and he arising took the child and his mother by night and departed unto Egypt. And he was there until the death of Herod, that it might be fulfilled which was spoken by the Lord through the prophet, saying, Out of Egypt I have called my son. It's interesting. This is in fulfillment of Hosea 11:1. And just as Israel was called out of Egypt, so Christ is called out of Egypt. And it's sort of like Matthew is saying, what happened to Israel is happening to Christ, the same experience. And he's quoting Hosea 11:1 as in it, and giving it, I think, a typical use. So Christ is being called out of Egypt, just like Israel was called out of Egypt. Type, anti-type. Tata Herodes idon, hate enepaikse, hupaton magon, etumothe leon, kai apastelas anelen pantas tus, paidas tus in Bethlehem, kai in pasi tois hareois altes, apo dia tus kai katotero, katatan granan han akribosin para tu magon. And that is, and then Herod, when he saw that he was mocked by the Magi, he was exceedingly angry. And when he sent, he slew all the children which were in Bethlehem and in all its region from 2 years of age and downward, according to the time which he had inquired from the Magi. Here we see the absolute evil of Herod and the absolute cruelty in doing what he did to those children that were 2 years of age and downward in trying to destroy Christ. And it's interesting, we see again, Christ is saved. He is not destroyed, even though Herod, that's what he would like to do. And what a sad, sad uh, day that this evil man perpetrated all this evil. Tragic. So then we go on. Tate and plerose ta retan. That is, uh, then was fulfilled that which was spoken by Jeremiah the prophet, saying, a voice, phone in Roma ekuste, klaus mos kai adurmas palus, Raquel, Clausa ta technal tes kai uk ethelen parathenai hate uk esin. The voice was heard in Ramah. Then was fulfilled what Jeremiah had said. The voice was heard in Ramah, weeping and much mourning, Rachel weeping for her children, and she was not willing to be comforted, for they are not. A quote from Jeremiah chapter 31, 15, showing the weeping that went on during the Babylonian captivity, and now we're seeing it again. And so, having quoted that, the final quote then comes in the following verses. Telutesan testet tu Herodu eduangelas kyriou phainetai kat anar to Yosef in Aigupto. That is, when Herod died, behold, the angel of the Lord appears in a dream to Joseph in Egypt, saying, Legon, agerses parela veta paidion kai tain matera autu, kai por paruu estain Yisrael, tes nekasen garhoi zeitun tes tem suchem tu paidiu. That is, Herod then noticed that we have, after Herod died, the angel appears to Joseph, saying, Joseph, take the child and his mother and go into the land of Israel, for the ones who are seeking the life of the child have died. Hadeg agerthes, pareleven ta paidion, kai tain metera autu, kai seothen es tain Israel. And he arising took the child and his mother, and he entered into Israel. Akusas dehate arkelaas basilei tes Judaiai ante tu patrasau tu Herodu ephabese ake apelthen crematistes decat aner anecores es tamerates Galileas. And that is, and when he heard that Archelaus was reigning in Judea instead of his father Herod, he was afraid to go there, depart there. But being warned in a dream, he departed into the region of Galilee. Notice Kaelthon, Katoi Kesin, Ace Palen, Legamene, Nazareth, Hapos plerothe tachethen diaton propheton hate Nazaraios thethesetai. And when he came, he sojourned in the city being called Nazareth, that it might be fulfilled, which was spoken, he shall be called a Nazaraios. Sort of like he lived in, he is called the branch, Netzer, in Isaiah 11. So he lived in Branchtown, so to speak. In other words, he lived in Nazareth that he might be called a Nazarite. Sort of like saying, notice that Christ fulfills the prophecy of the Netzer of Isaiah 11 by living in Branchtown. Something like that. It's a use of the Old Testament again. Notice all the different uses that Matthew makes of the Old Testament in this great chapter, setting forth Jesus as the coming Messiah. He's like the new Israel, and he is the branch that dwelt in Branchtown.